Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE Raw review. Yeah, July 31st, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a Raw review for the first time in a long time. I am going to be going on a little bit of a rant with you guys today. Yeah, surprising, huh? As you guys may have seen on other people's reviews on WWE's product and TV shows and all that kind of shit, they fucking rant and rave about it probably, more than likely. And I'm going to be no different at this point because trying to be respectable or, talk kind about this product has gotten me nowhere. Quite frankly, the show overall was good. There is a major problem with this booking. This show tonight was booked absolutely horrible. Two matches that should have been flip-flopped and weren't, and I'll get into it. I'll tell you the truth. This whole thing is just pathetic. How they had a good show going, and if they only had the show for 2 hours, the show would have been great. It would have been a fantastic fucking show worth 2 hours of your time. And instead, we had to sit through an extra hour of nonsense and dumb bullshit that meant nothing for WWE Monday Night Raw. So let's get into it, shall we? First thing we get going on is Kurt Angle announces the thing about his son being on the Miz TV deal, which I did not watch. I skipped that shit. Actually, 30 minutes of Raw I missed in the 9 o'clock hour. Not that I probably think not because I think that there was any kind of major thing going on during this hour, which pretty much there wasn't overall. So let's get into it. Kurt Angle starts talking about his son, speaking to Miz later on tonight. Then we had him talking about Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman in a triple threat match for tonight's show. Then Brock Lesnar makes a surprise appearance with Paul Heyman, of course. Paul Heyman comes out, he starts saying all these things like, I think this is a conspiracy theory. I believe that you're trying to get the title off my client, Brock Lesnar. I feel that you want either one of these three men to go ahead and win the title. You figure, hey, the three of them all team up against Brock Lesnar, put him out of the picture, and all three of them will then fight off each other to find out who becomes the champion, and he doesn't have to be pinned or submitted to lose the belt. Very smart strategy if that's what his original plan was, to strip the title off of Brock Lesnar, which Paul Heyman actually throws out on top of it, that he believes that Stephanie McMahon is pushing him to do something like that because of the fact that they want the title to be shown on WWE programming Monday all week long, every week throughout the weeks leading up to pay-per-views, and being able to defend the title every single week. Or not every week, every month, excuse me. Incorrect about that one. Let me rephrase that. Defend the title every month on every pay-per-view that Raw has or joint pay-per-view that they do. Point being, Brock Lesnar, basically Paul Heyman points out that if Brock Lesnar loses this belt, Brock Lesnar will quit the WWE and lose the Universal title all in one night, basically, if he loses the title. This reason was pointed out specifically, and I will state this And it was a very smart move. One of the best things WWE did so far in tonight's Raw episode, outside one of the best things they did on Raw's episode, was the fact that Brock Lesnar has been rumored he may go to UFC, face John Jones or some kind of insane bullshit like that. He may end up just going back to UFC to have another fight. So why not drop the title, let him focus on that, and then poof, he can go about his business and do that, and then maybe come back later on in the end. So there you go. Paul Heyman goes hand in hand with Brock Lesnar. So if Brock Lesnar decides to leave to go do UFC for a little while before he comes back, then that's a good reason why Paul Heyman ain't going to be there either. Um, so that was a great segment and leaves unpredictability. At the end of the day, you're going to either find out Brock Lesnar staying or Brock Lesnar's going based on where the title goes or stays on Brock Lesnar. That's the bottom line there. And I think that's a fantastic idea. Take advantage of the rumors and the nonsense that goes on the internet, because then at some point that will be used as a way of making it unpredictable. Now, hopefully, this rumor can be kept as what is a rumor and not finalized as an actual thing, whether or not he's going to be able to do UFC or go to stay with WWE. I hope that this rumor stays silent, not like given away to the audience to be able to go out and find on the internet, but that's probably what will happen. That's one of the reasons why WWE's wrestling program in itself absolutely sucks. The internet fucks it up. It gives away results. It gives away the things, what's going on behind the scenes, as strategy, storyline wise, all that kind of stuff that educates us on all this information. But it also takes away the fun and enjoyment and unpredictability of who may or may not win. And I kind of miss that in wrestling. And internet has fucked that up for us as wrestling fans, in a sense. But it also has helped us learn a lot about the wrestling industry and how they work. The sad part is, it's a fucking crapshoot basically, and it just kind of kills the fun out of watching wrestling based on the fact of being able to get the results of it before it even happens, for that matter. So it kind of sucks. It kind of gives away all the clues and things that's going on as you're watching it. You don't even have to pay attention anymore to this shit. You just read up on it and you find out what's going to happen before it happens. And I think that's really sad in itself. I used to remember when I was a kid watching wrestling, I'd find all kinds of clues and ways of figuring out what was going to happen before it happens, instead of being given what is going to be of the result of the storyline or what's going to happen with a storyline leading into that for a pay-per-view. So it kind of sucks and it's kind of cool at the same time. So it's a bittersweet kind of situation, in my personal opinion. But moving along here, I don't want to make this way too long. But yeah, that was a very good segment by Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman mostly, of course, because Brock Lesnar doesn't talk for whatever fucking reason. So then we come back with Hardy Boys versus the Club, continuing to build off of the Revival and the Hardy Boys. So the Hardy Boys have a match with the Club, and I think a couple of weeks ago, the Club actually beat the Hardy Boys, or last month or so, and now they're facing them again. This time around, the Hardy Boys get the win, so it's 50-50 booking once again with the Hardy Boys and Club at this point. Um, and after the match was over, Jeff Hardy managed to pick up the victory with Swanton Bomb. But after the victory, they have a brawl between um, the Revival, the Club, and the Hardy Boys up on the stage, and it ends up being an all-out brawl, which was very entertaining and very fun. The match itself for the Hardy Boys and the Club, I mean, I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was a pretty average match, nothing too exciting. that you can cry home about, but it wasn't bad in itself. Um, Dean Ambrose then has an interview backstage. Shows the footage of him having a really good time at the victory with him and Seth Rollins. It looked like he was going to kind of give him a fist bump for the old time's sake of the Shield, but doesn't. He kind of just waves his hand up in the air as a signal, like, yeah, we did a great job and whatnot, but still untrustworthy towards Seth Rollins. And he was asked why is that the case and so forth. And Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose face to face once again, and Dean Ambrose still saying he does not approve of Seth Rollins, does not trust him or think he's going to have his back, and had his eyes in the back of his head during that tag team match last week. Here's my attitude on this. They're making Seth Rollins look pathetic, and they're hurting him. They need to make him stop caring. They need to stop making him look for approval of Dean Ambrose. And they just need to do one thing and one thing only. Have him kick ass. What has happened to anti-heroes? The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Fuck, when Triple H played a face, he was still an anti-heel, an anti-face. He was not he was not like this so-called goody two-shoes type of guy. He pandered to the crowd, the Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and even Triple H himself when he was a good guy. There was a lot of other wrestlers like that. Name off Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero wasn't exactly a goody two-shoe guy. He would cheat all the time in his matches, but he would still get the audience to still love his ass. And, I mean, Seth Rollins is that guy. Seth Rollins should be an anti-hero. He should be that guy that's a good guy who will, fight cleanly, doesn't need to cheat to beat your ass, but doesn't need anyone and don't kiss anybody's ass either. He shouldn't be made into this so-called role model trying to fix and patch bridges that he burnt down. Just move on, man. Just forget it. That's what they need to do with Seth Rollins. All they're doing is hurting Seth Rollins and making him look pathetic. But in the same breath, if they go this route, what they keep doing, from what I know, Dean Ambrose may be turned into a heel, being in the sense that he's going to tell Seth Rollins, yeah, we're good, become good old pals, and then turn on Seth Rollins later on down the road, becoming a heel. And I think that would be all right, but this whole long, drawn-out, I need acceptance, let's be friends again, I want to get the Shield back together kind of deal. I mean, it's kind of sad and pathetic, to be honest with you. I mean, at this point, if Dean Ambrose doesn't want to accept his apology or trust him in this whole situation based on the tag team match that they had, then what the hell's the point in Seth Rollins even giving a fuck anymore? I mean, this is just nonsense and childish. This is like kids. I mean, this is pathetic. I don't like it. I think it's sad and retarded for them to even be thinking this is okay. This is not okay. This is hurting Seth Rollins more than it's helping him or helping Dean Ambrose for that matter. I mean, you could always have Dean Ambrose look at him and say, kiss my ass, I'm not your fucking friend, and beat him to death. I mean, you could make him a heel that way. I don't know. I mean, they could have made Dean Ambrose a heel last week during that tag team match for all we care. Bottom line is, this match they really should speed the process, not make this a long, drawn-out thing. Either make Seth Rollins be approved by Dean Ambrose, or Dean Ambrose turns on him before he even approves it. One of the two, but make one of those two options made, by like next week at least. If you're going to stretch this out all the way to SummerSlam, this is fucking stupid. I think it's absolutely retarded if they do that. They really should just stick with an idea and go with it. But yeah, my personal opinion, I think this whole I need to get approval from Dean Ambrose is repulsive and very retarded in the sense of Seth Rollins was a badass when he turned into a heel. Now he's become this face, and now he's a weakling little bastard who needs to go ahead and patch up bridges that he burnt himself. Now, getting into burnt bridges about Seth Rollins, here's the best part about this whole situation. If you want to rewind the time back to 3 years ago, he freaking kicks Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton's ass in two major six-man tag team matches. One being just a pinfall or submission, one pinfall or submission to finish the match, and then there was an elimination, which they dominated and eliminated all three of them in Payback in 2014, and they won that match. The next day afterwards, Seth Rollins turns on his two friends. Now, my thing is this. Why the fuck would you want to go ahead and do that? Number one, these guys weren't, in my personal opinion, I think it was too soon during that time for them to break up. I think by like 2015, early 2017, they should have broke up. And it should have been more of a power struggle between the three of them to saying who is really the leader of that team, and then eventually the three of them imploding on each other, creating the triple threat match that everybody's been looking for at WrestleMania. But no, we didn't get that. We got the split up immediately in 2014, which I think was absolutely pathetic. You could have maybe done it at 2015 for all we care, at WrestleMania 31, and just had the triple threat match, determine who was the best Shield member of them all, and that's that. Leave it at that. But this whole fucking thing was pathetic. And then we rewind, we fast forward now to 2017, where we are now, and we're going back on this, and Seth Rollins is begging for approval like a poor, pathetic dog. Yeah, very sad and stupid on WWE's part to do this to Seth Rollins' character. I think it's really crappy, and I think it sucks. Either get approved by Dean Ambrose or tell Dean Ambrose to go fuck off. That's what they should do with Seth Rollins at this point, and just have the both of them kick each other's ass at that point and move on. I mean, this whole thing is stupid as fuck. Backstage, Seth Rollins has a big disagreement with Sheamus and Cesaro. Sheamus and Cesaro pointing out the past history that Seth Rollins did to Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and how their tag team relationship started, where they started hating each other but grown to like each other and became a very dominant tag team, which now they have won 2 tag team titles as a team. But nothing more than that. So Seth Rollins challenges to one of them to a one-on-one match. Sheamus steps up to the plate, and we get a match between those two. During that, after that whole segment, Aqua Tozawa, Cedric Alexander, and Rich Swann versus Araya Davari, TJ Perkins, and Tony Nese compete in a 6-man cruiserweight match, in which case I noticed something about the cruiserweight match here tonight. Where the fuck was the purple ropes? That was their signature theme, their colors, for the brand of 205. Why the hell haven't there been there? Why hasn't the purple ropes been there? In the last 2 weeks, I've noticed they're not there. Why is that? It's like as if they don't have the cruiserweight division anymore without having the ropes. That was their signature thing. Now all of a sudden it's not? The fuck is this shit? Match, though, itself was very good. I'm not going to deny that. Probably one of the better cruiserweight matches I have seen on WWE Raw programming from the day it started. It did get a little bit of TV time, not very much in comparison to other matches on the show, but it did get more than what other matches have gotten for the cruiserweights on Raw. So I've got to give WWE that much. They give them a little bit of extra time than what they usually give them. But overall, this match was decent. I mean, a 3.5 out of 5 stars, but it was a 6-man tag team match. Nothing to go crying home about. But I do have to say this. If you wanted to build your tag team division, Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann would be a great mix for a tag team a tag team group, tag team partners. I'll be that much truthful with you. I think these two would be awesome together. Because there was one spot where they did both of them did freaking flips off the top rope. Rich Swann did it from the corner, and Cedric Alexander did it leaping over the top rope and on the side of the ring. I thought it was absolutely insane and fucking cool as shit. But that's WWE. It's all up to them what they want to do with that. Me personally, I'd definitely put Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander as tag team partners, and eventually make them as tag team champions. I think that would be freaking cool as shit to see cruiserweights being tag team champions at this point, because tag team division, Raw and SmackDown both fucking suck. Just be honest. But that's just me, and I mean, if you guys want to let me know what you guys think about my opinion on that for the Cedric Alexander Rich Swann tag team being partners situation, let me know, and I'd definitely like to hear from you guys on that one. That's a really good subject I'd like to talk about on here for this video. And Tozawa actually picked up the victory. I think it's absolutely amazing how a guy with freaking bandages all over his shoulders, constantly fucking wrestling and getting hurt, and now he's competing on 205 Live tomorrow for a number one contenders match to determine the number one contender at SummerSlam against Neville. That's really funny. The Miz segment, I totally skipped that. I went ahead and just went inside, was talking to my girlfriend and whatnot. I did not care to watch anything that deals with The Miz. I can't stomach The Miz. I think he sucks. I think eventually this will bring up opportunity for Jason Jordan to face The Miz for the Intercontinental title. This seems to be the only logical answer here at this point for Jason Jordan to do it at this time, since they're putting him in a segment with The Miz. Except Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, I'm not quite sure what they're doing with them. So I'm a little confused on that. So let's move along here. Then we get, after that, Roman Reigns narrates a video about the triple threat match, talking about how happy he's going to send Braun Strowman back to hell, and Samoa Joe may think he has his number, but without the distractions, he'd stand tall every time. He put the dead man to rest. This is his yard, and he's the only guy that can put Brock away. So he's going to remind everyone who he is tonight before walking away as Universal Champion. Who fucking cares, dude? You're not walking away Universal Champion. You'll be the champion at WrestleMania because Vince McMahon said so, and fuck you. You're the most protected motherfucker I've ever seen, and that's why you can't get over. You dumb fucking asshole, freaking Irish pig bastard, Vince McMahon. That's why your guy can't get over, because you protect him too damn much. Just fuck off, man. That's all you can do. Just go screw yourself, because that's the reason why you can't get this guy over. It ain't because Roman Reigns sucks. It ain't because Roman Reigns can't be liked. It ain't because Roman Reigns is a horrible entertainer. Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do, but he's not some guy that can't be liked. This guy has performed against some of the best guys, and he's performed very well. Some guys he doesn't gel with. Some other guys he gels very well with. Braun Strowman is definitely one of them. And Vince McMahon protects him too much. And that's the reason why people can't stand behind this guy. This guy is not a believable champion for the people, and that's why the people do not like him and do not care. That's why if he's going to be protected the way he is protected, he should be a bad guy. Not a face, not anything. He should be a fucking heel, badass motherfucker who acts like a prick, and he already does. And he's then also looked at as a role model for kids and fucking women. I mean, come on, man. You're half-assing this shit. Give it a rest, Vince. You fucking suck. You don't know what the hell you're doing anymore. Get somebody else that does or cares about this product. You don't fucking give a shit. And that's really sad to say because you fucking built this product with your... First off, your dad created it, and you made it even bigger, and now you're turning it into crap. The fuck does that make any sense? Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. Did not watch this match. Probably didn't miss much. Saw some of the segments at the end. There was a segment where Dean Ambrose finally comes down to the ring and helps Seth Rollins because it was a 2-on-1 attack. Seth Rollins does win by pinfall with a folding press, so he doesn't exactly get his finishing maneuver in this match. He just happens to get a fold-up pin to get the victory here. And then we get Cesaro interfering in the match, beating the shit out of fucking Seth Rollins, and then Dean Ambrose comes to save the day. And that's pretty much it. Samoa Joe does a package like Roman Reigns, and we had fucking Braun Strowman later on after this segment with Bray Wyatt. Once again, Bray Wyatt keeps rambling and rambling and rambling about nothing that means nothing. This guy is literally in denial, delusional, or he's just completely out of his fucking rockers. I mean, this guy is dumb as hell. His dialogue makes no fucking sense. When I get knocked down, I get back up. When you get knocked down by the world and Bray Wyatt, you don't get back up. I think he gets back up, or he'd be carted out of the fucking arena, buddy. And he would be saying that he's in the hospital. He's up. He moves. And guess what, motherfucker? After your little pathetic little bambling and family on about your bullshit, about how great you are and how you're a god, which I really wish he'd stop doing because it's fucking disgusting. Finn Balor pops out of nowhere, and he's freaking standing there, and he's standing right in front of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's looking at him, and he attacks, and then Balor kicks his ass and does a couple of drop kicks, knock him over the barricade, and Finn Balor stands there looking victorious like $1 million. Who the fuck cares? Bray Wyatt is not a threat to anyone. Bray Wyatt cannot ever look like a champion. He was pathetic at WrestleMania against Randy Orton this year, and he's pathetic in all aspects. He's just a sad jerk-off that Vince McMahon keeps around because he wants to make the nostalgia of the fucking Undertaker still be around in WWE's realm of wrestling. Get out of here. He couldn't touch Undertaker's jockstrap. What are you, fucking kidding? Trying to move through here. So Braun Strowman does his video package, which was pretty good by him. I liked it. I thought it was very good, strong delivery that he did, and he talked very straightforward. He was very clear on his words. He didn't stumble over his words either. He seemed like he was just talking naturally to you. He didn't feel like you were dealing with someone that was talking like a robot or reading off of a dialogue script. It just seemed very natural and authentic to me. So after that video package, we had the entrances and had Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. All right, I'm going to get into this. Three things I want to mention. One, the match was fantastic. A 4.5 out of 5 stars. These three gigantuans beat the shit out of each other, gave you a freaking war to be entertained by. The audience was cheering, "This is awesome." They were on their feet from the beginning of the match to the end of the match. My problem is two. My problem is two things. The first thing is, why the hell would you put this match by the at the beginning of the last hour? Why would you do that? Is this a 2-hour Raw episode? If it is, thank God, because we wouldn't have to waste 3 hours of our freaking lives watching bullshit like we watched here tonight. By the second hour, or by the third hour, after the second hour was done, we got into the third. That was it. It was all bullshit from there. This match was awesome, entertaining, very brutal, hardcore. Well, I wouldn't say hardcore like ECW type hardcore, but it was pretty brutal. These guys really banged each other up pretty good, um, and it was very entertaining to watch. I really enjoyed it. I did not like the fact Roman Reigns wins again on Monday Night Raw. It's like as if Reigns always wins. Like the word Raw stands for Reigns always wins. I mean, come on, man. This guy never loses on Raw. Or have Braun Strowman beat Samoa Joe, or Samoa Joe beat Braun Strowman. Something of that kind of nature. Have somebody beat someone that other than Roman Reigns wins. I mean, come on. What the fuck? And not to mention Roman Reigns beat Samoa Joe. Why the hell would he beat Samoa Joe? He's got this big ass fucking bastard beating everybody's ass, and then he's gonna lose to Roman Reigns. You got Samoa Joe beating everybody up, and you have him lose to Roman Reigns, of all people. Pretty fucking pathetic. But regardless of the end result of the match, it was still really good in itself. I have to give Vince McMahon that much with this matchup. I really did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. 4.5 out of 5 stars all around on this match. So from there, um, Elias versus Kalisto. Actually, this match was okay too. Nice job by Kalisto. He was doing a good job being a jobber in this match. Sold Elias's match very well. Elias performed very well, and he also trashed his own hometown, which is funny as shit. Sitting in the ring talking trash about his hometown and about the Pittsburgh Pirates. Wow, that's some crazy ass shit right there. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, he was very good on the microphone too. I actually was laughing at some of the shit he was saying. I do see this guy eventually moving into a intercontinental championship run eventually. I think probably would be the best thing is he faces either Jason Jordan or Finn Balor for that matter. Since he already started a mini feud with him, it'd be kind of good for them to start that back up again if Finn Balor becomes the Intercontinental Champion at some point. So I think that would be a pretty good idea for them to do with Elias. So I'm actually kind of getting behind this guy after I've gotten a chance to sit down and really pay attention to what he does and what he's saying. He really does sound pretty good, and it's kind of entertaining at the same time. Alexa Bliss, she talks about her match with Bayley. This makes no fucking sense to me. I don't know why Bayley's getting a chance at the title when she's already had 2 opportunities against Alexa Bliss to beat her one-on-one, and she's yet to do that. I don't know what's the point. Why wouldn't Sasha get the automatic rematch when she didn't really lose? She actually won the match, by the way. So why would she even have to compete for her number one contender spot if she won the fucking match in the first place? Doesn't make no freaking sense to me. Once again, WWE proving they have no fucking brains in their head. It's being run by a guy with Alzheimer's. Jesus Christ. Alright, moving on here. Yeah, oh yeah, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are in the same locker room. They're still talking about this nonsense. Oh, well, if you're not my friend and you don't want to be my partner, and would you please shut the fuck up, Seth Rollins? You sound pathetic. Why can't you? Man, if I was Seth Rollins, I'd be like, what the fuck you got me doing this bullshit with Dean Ambrose for? Let's just fucking kill each other, you know? Come on, stop this nonsense with this childish kiddie games that we're pulling here. This is retarded. Seriously, this is dumb as shit. I don't get any of this nonsense. Neither one of them are gaining anything from this. Just have one of them fucking get pissed off and beat the hell out of each other. Maybe have Seth Rollins say, you know what, fuck you, man. I'm gonna just beat your ass instead. How about that? I mean, I don't get any of this. This is fucking stupid. But he says, "Oh, I'll go ahead and help. Next time you get yourself in a situation like this where you can't handle it by yourself, I'll just let you sit there and get your ass burnt." Well, why the hell didn't you just do that in the first place and leave it the fuck alone and show your true colors of what you think about Seth Rollins and that you don't trust him? You don't fucking care about him either because of what he did. And you're never going to trust him ever again. I mean, like, come on, man. What the fuck's so hard? Stupid as hell. Bayley versus Nia Jax. Here's another good one. Bayley goes ahead and wins by a count out because Alexa Bliss interferes at the end of the match and Bayley knocks her on her ass. And Nia Jax goes ahead, tries to spear her, and she accidentally hits the steel steps, and her knee hits it and falls down. She can't get back up to answer the 10 count to get back in the ring, so she loses the match. Got a good question. Bayley and Emma, aren't they about the same height, same weight, same everything? And Emma got her ass whooped last week in 1 minute and 40 seconds. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they the same height, same weight, and everything? And yet Emma gets her ass kicked. Does not even look like she even had a shot in hell to beat Nia Jax, but yet Bayley managed to go about almost 10 minutes, maybe more, a little over 10 minutes, and walks away with a count-out victory. How the fuck does that work, by the way? I don't know, but it don't make no sense to me. If you're paying really hard, close attention to this shit, it really don't make any sense. And Vincent, man, you keep on proving every single day how much of a fucking jackass dumbass you really are. Buddy, you got a lot of problems. And then the best part is, we get the main event. The main event is fucking Big Cass versus Big Show. I think Big Show has actually gotten multiple main event spots on Raw for the last year and a half going on now. Why? He's not a full-time wrestler. He's not even getting world championship title shot opportunities anymore. Forget about being the champion. He ain't even getting world title shot opportunities anymore. This match sucked. The Big Cass and Big Show. Complete fucking waste of everybody's time. Went about maybe close to 10 minutes. And who fucking cares? And that's the bottom line. If this show would have lasted up to 10:05, we would have had a great show. There was no complaints really all that much about the show. And if you had a 2-hour show, you could throw the Big Show and Big Cass in there around the 9 o'clock hour, the beginning of 9 o'clock hour. Have Bayley and Nia Jax with your nonsense bullshit that made no fucking sense. Throw in you could take out the freaking 205 Live action, put that on the freaking 205 Live episode, and have Elias and Kalisto have their match, and Seth Rollins and so forth. No, we couldn't have that. No, of course not. We had to have all this fucking nonsense for 3 hours straight that nobody would really fucking give a shit at the third hour. So, fuck Vince McMahon and his fucking product. But my personal opinion, if you watched it for 2 hours, you watched a great show. After the 2 hours, Elias and Kalisto are about the only thing after the triple threat match that's worth watching. The rest of it's absolute complete crap. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this long-ass video that's almost 40 minutes long. Hit that subscribe button if you like the. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Hit the like button if you like the video, and leave your comments and opinions down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you very much for your time.